Welcome back to the Facts Matrix. Our story of the life of Nikola Tesla starts at midnight, July 10th, 1856. A ferocious thunderstorm is tearing through the Croatian village of Smiljan. Inside a small house, a baby is born. The midwife, terrified by the storm, calls the child a child of darkness. But his mother replies, "No, a child of light." That baby was Nikola Tesla, and that moment, whether real or legend, perfectly foretold a life spent chasing lightning. Tesla's father was a scholarly priest with a huge library, but it was his mother, Juka, who truly shaped him. Though she never learned to read, she was a brilliant inventor of household gadgets. Tesla always said his creative spark came from her. As a boy, he had a black cat named Machak. One day, while petting the cat, he saw tiny sparks jump from his hand to the fur. His father explained it was electricity. For young Nikola, it wasn't just a cool fact, it was the beginning of a lifelong obsession. But Tesla's childhood was also marked by strange, intense visions. He would see blinding flashes of light and complex images that felt so real, he couldn't tell them apart from reality. He also developed bizarre compulsions, like counting his steps or needing everything to be divisible by 3. Then tragedy struck. His brother Dane died in a riding accident. Nikola witnessed it, and the trauma, combined with his father's grief, pushed him deeper into his own private world of numbers and ideas. He found an escape in a novel about a hero who transforms himself through sheer willpower. Tesla decided to do the same. For years, he began training his mind to build entire machines in his imagination, testing and perfecting them without ever touching a tool. He claimed he could even check for wear and tear on these mental prototypes. It's a wild claim, but it shows just how differently his brain was wired. In one of his early physics classes, he saw an early electrical device and became fascinated. He started sketching ideas for new kinds of motors, ones that didn't exist yet. But his journey almost ended there. After returning home, he caught cholera and was bedridden for 9 months. On what he thought was his deathbed, he begged his father to let him study engineering instead of joining the priesthood. Desperate not to lose another son, his father agreed. Tesla miraculously recovered. After spending time healing in the mountains, where he dreamed up planet-sized ideas like underwater mail tubes, he enrolled at the Polytechnic School in Graz, Austria, in 1875. He was a phenomenal student, supposedly studying from 3 a.m. to 11 p.m. It was there he first encountered a direct current, or DC motor. He hated it. The sparking and constant maintenance felt clumsy. He became convinced there had to be a better way, a motor powered by alternating current, or AC. The only problem? No one knew how to build one. Under immense pressure, Tesla cracked. He developed a gambling problem, lost his scholarship, and dropped out. After a period of drifting and odd jobs, he finally landed a position at a telephone company in Budapest in 1881. Then in 1882, during a walk in the park, the solution hit him. As he watched the sunset, he suddenly saw it in his mind, a rotating magnetic field created by alternating currents. He grabbed a stick and drew the design in the sand. That idea for the polyphase AC motor is still the basis for countless electric motors we use today. His genius didn't go unnoticed. He was sent to work for an Edison company in Paris, and then, in 1884, he arrived in America with little more than a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison himself. The letter supposedly said, "I know 2 great men. One is you, and the other is this young man." Edison hired him, but the two were polar opposites. Edison was a practical tinkerer obsessed with his direct current systems. Tesla was a visionary who saw that alternating current was the future. DC power plants were inefficient and could only send power a mile or two. AC, however, could be sent hundreds of miles with little energy loss. When it was clear Edison would never abandon DC, Tesla quit. For a time, the man who would revolutionize electricity was digging ditches for $2 a day just to survive. But he found new backers and started the Tesla Electric Company. In 1888, he presented his complete AC system to a group of engineers. In the audience was the industrialist George Westinghouse, who immediately bought Tesla's patents. This set the stage for the War of the Currents. Edison launched a smear campaign trying to convince the public that AC was deadly. But Westinghouse and Tesla pushed forward. The turning point came in 1893. They won the contract to light the entire Chicago World's Fair with AC power. Millions of visitors saw a city of light, proving that AC was not only safe, but spectacular. Shortly after, Tesla's designs were used to build the world's first major hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls. When those generators came online, sending power for miles, it was clear. Alternating current had won. Tesla was now a celebrity. He became a U.S. citizen and gave theatrical lectures, walking through arcs of man-made lightning and lighting lamps with no wires. He pioneered experiments with X-rays and in 1898 demonstrated a radio-controlled boat decades before remote controls were common. Then, he went even bigger. In 1899, he built a massive experimental station in Colorado Springs. There, his giant Tesla coils threw lightning bolts into the sky, and he proved the Earth itself could conduct electricity. He became convinced he could transmit power wirelessly to the entire globe. To fund this dream, he turned to the powerful banker J.P. Morgan and began building Wardenclyffe, a colossal wireless transmission tower on Long Island. Tesla envisioned a global system for sending messages, images, and news, an early version of the Internet. But his timing was terrible. A rival inventor, Marconi, was making headlines with wireless telegraphy. Investors got nervous, and Morgan, seeing no clear way to profit from free energy, pulled his funding. The project collapsed. The tower was eventually torn down. From then on, Tesla's life was a long, slow decline. He continued to invent, but never found the backing he needed. He slid into debt, and to add insult to injury, Marconi won the Nobel Prize for radio, using principles Tesla had developed years earlier. It wasn't until after his death that the Supreme Court would recognize Tesla's crucial contributions. In his final years, Tesla lived a solitary life, moving between New York hotels and feeding pigeons in the park. He became obsessed with germs and isolated himself. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in his hotel room at the age of 86. It was a quiet end for a man whose mind reshaped our world. Today, the world hums with the alternating current he championed. Our phones, our Wi-Fi, our electric cars, all of it carries a trace of his genius. He may have lost many battles in his own lifetime, but in the end, he won the war for the future. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of Nikola Tesla, please hit that like button and subscribe. Your support really does help us to continue to bring you these stories each and every day. Also, we'd love to hear what part of his story shocked you the most. Do you think Tesla was the most underrated genius of the modern age? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks once again for joining us on this journey into the life of Nikola Tesla. We look forward to see you next time, when the Facts Matrix brings you more facts about people, places, and beyond.